Good morning, DFC, and welcome to another lesson in grade 12 entrepreneurship. Today, we're learning the different types of business ownership and the distinct advantages and disadvantages they have. I've included a handy graphic that shows you the 5 main types of business ownership. They can range from as small as one person, called the sole proprietorship, all the way up to a corporation, which is a legal entity of itself. So this is when you have hundreds or thousands, in the case of, say, Walmart or Amazon, of employees. But you can have a business owned by many people, like a cooperative, or owned by just one person, a sole proprietorship. All right, as usual, I just want you to watch today's video in its entirety. We have a news article today about Indigenous entrepreneurs, and it can be found here. The textbook reading, which can be found here. And all the types of ownership are explained here, from partnership to corporation, cooperative, franchise. Now, a crown corporation, conglomerate, and multinational corporation, or MNC. So these types, they're just subtypes of a corporation. So crown, conglomerate, and MNC, those are all just subtypes of corporation. So they're not really distinct types of ownership themselves. And then I do want you to read this case study about Bearskin Airlines. So initially, it was a sole proprietorship, and businesses can change ownership type over time. So he took on some partners, Otto John Hegland, and then it eventually became a corporation. So it went from sole proprietorship to partnership to corporation to a multinational corporation. And multinational corporation, this is its current form of ownership. So that's important to know. So like for example, as a business gets bigger and bigger, it can't stay a sole proprietorship forever. There's just too much work, too many employees, too many things to oversee. So now it has a board of directors which makes the decisions. Just like Amazon. It started with Jeff Bezos running a business out of his home, but now it's a $1 trillion corporation. He is the CEO, but he has a board of directors to make decisions. Okay, so what I'd like you to do for the short answer questions is, first one is list an advantage or disadvantage in the space below for each of the ownership types. So sole proprietorship, advantage is that 100% of the profits go to the owner. So you're not having to share any profits with anyone. But a disadvantage is that you don't really have any help. You may have employees, but they're employed to do their job, whether it's cutting grass, cleaning up, running a cash register. They don't really help you make decisions. So basically, it's all up to you, which could be a good or bad thing, depending on your preference. So tell me what would be an advantage of partnership, corporation, cooperative, franchise, and then a disadvantage for each one. There's no one best choice, but some, like, as your business gets larger, it's necessary to have a corporation. Now, there are disadvantages of that as well. But say if you're just a one-person business, a sole proprietorship would therefore be best because you don't have any employees. So some are better than others depending on the size of your business. If it's just a family-run business, these two are your best options. For example, partnerships. Many family businesses are run by husband and wives, two siblings, or close friends. That's very, very common. In fact, these two, they make up 90% of small business ownership. About another 5% is cooperative, and another 5% are small corporations, not big like Microsoft or Amazon or Walmart. Now, Bearskin Airlines initially started as a sole proprietorship by Otto John Hegland. Today, it's a large business of over 250 employees. What type of ownership does Bearskin Airlines have now? And remember, you can find that information in this case study here. So it transitioned from many types of ownership, but what is its current type of ownership? Now, which type of ownership do you think is best for a small part-time business like snow shoveling or lawn cutting? And just be sure to explain your answer. Now imagine that you and a friend run a small coffee shop full-time. So both of you are working full-time. Now, you also have 3 part-time employees. Now, what type of ownership do you think would be best for this business type? And just be sure to explain your answer as well. All right, the next question is about business registration. So you don't have to register a business name, but there are advantages to registering a business name, like you can legally establish your name so that no one else can take it from you. So no one else can borrow it, no one else can use it without your consent. And also, if you are wanting to apply for business loans and bank accounts, you need to have a registered business. So to register a business in Canada, to legally own this business, in other words, just click on this link. And it will take you to this page right here, Business Registration Services in Ontario. So here's what the registration process does. It checks the availability of the business name, it registers it. You can apply for an HST number. You can apply for a payroll account. So if you plan on having employees, you need to pay them, right? And in order to pay them, you have to have a payroll account. If you plan on importing or exporting goods, so if you're doing, say, e-commerce trade to other countries, you need to have an import and export account. And you need to have a WSIB account. This is if you're having employees. This is for the Workplace Safety Insurance Board. This is a lot of information to throw you at once, but I'm going to simplify it. So just pick one of either a sole proprietorship or a partnership. Say if your business idea is just one person, click on Register a Sole Proprietorship. And it will take you to this page. Now, whether you're registering a partnership or sole proprietorship, the cost is the same. It is $135 for the base package. So what do you get in this base package? You pay for the Ontario business name, the filing fee, which is $60, and the registration fee, which is another $60, and the name search. So here's what, for $135, you get to search your selected business name, and you get to register and file it, which means once you pay that $135, if your name hasn't already been taken for your business, you get to legally own that name in Ontario, meaning that no other business can take that name in Ontario. Now, say if you wanted to get some additional features, like you wanted to have a business address. So if you had an office or a workplace outside of your home, you can register that business address. If you wanted to, say, want to sell outside of Canada, you need to have an import-export account. That's another $35. If you want to have employees for payroll, you need to have payroll and WSIB. That adds to the account. Now, for small one-person businesses, you don't need those things. If you are selling outside of Canada, you may need import-export account. Well, you will need it. But what about taxes? Businesses have to pay taxes. Kind of. Now, if your business earns less than $30,000 in sales, you don't need to pay HST or GST. So you don't have to pay taxes. Only if you generate more than $30,000 in sales will you need to have a GST, HST account. So if you're just shoveling snow, you don't have to pay business tax. You don't even need to register your business. If you're just doing babysitting on the side, you don't need to pay tax either. Paying tax is for only businesses that earn $30,000 or more. So just to register your business, it will cost you $135. And they have all these different other services that you can pay for, but just the registration process itself, whether it's a partnership or sole proprietorship, is just $135. Additional services will increase that amount. But just know, very important, you don't have to, not all businesses have to pay tax. Larger businesses do, but if it's under $30,000 in sales, you don't. What are the three things this business registration fee cover if you're purchasing just a basic package? So it covers these three things right here that I've highlighted. So that's just the base package if you want to just register your name. So it's legally yours. Now, why would a business not want to register the business itself? Well, if it's just a part-time or short-term business, you don't need, why spend the $135? If you're just doing babysitting, if you don't have any employees, you don't need to register either. Or if you have under 30,000 in annual sales, you don't need to register either. But there are some advantages though. Like for example, if you want to sell outside of Canada, if you want to have a larger business, if you want to have employees, then you do need to register your business. So there are some advantages to having a registered business. Now, what type of ownership do you think would be best for your business idea? Be sure to explain your idea or your answer. So for this course, you aren't going to set up a corporation or a cooperative. You're probably going to stick to either a sole proprietorship or a partnership. And from this question, you know the advantages and disadvantages. But just tell me which type of ownership would be best for you and be sure to explain your answer. And then finally, what name would you give to your business idea? If you took the BDV4C course, you can continue with that name. If you want to continue with that idea but give it a new name, you can do that too. Just tell me your business name in this space here. And finally, we have the self-assessment checklist. If you know the various types of business ownership, you've considered the advantages and disadvantages. If you've researched the cost of registering a sole proprietorship or partnership, and you can do that by clicking on this site here and then register. It doesn't matter which one you choose because they're the same cost. And then you've determined what is the best type of ownership for your business idea. So just check off whether you have met or not have met, and then give yourself a mark out of 4, 1 for every mark in the have met column. As usual, once you submit this, I'll read it, I'll mark it, and return it to you as soon as I can. And I'll be available every morning on Google Meet if you have any questions. Alternatively, you can also email me, and I'll respond as soon as I can. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching this video in its entirety, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.